Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Pigskin Project YouTube channel. And today it's Embrace Debate. Me, Ben, and Ryan. We all bring to the table our top 5 power rankings of the NFC. Each month, like top of the month, every 4 weeks or so, every quarter of the NFL season, we're going to do this on this channel. So you want to stick around to see how we progress and how we rank teams later and later into the season. This is the first iteration of that, so it's fun to have some, ideas bounce off. Why do you have this team over this team? Why does this person have this team way higher than this team? It's fun, and we get some interesting topics. Stay tuned for the AFC one, but let's get you into the NFC. This is where we are going to power rank the top 5 teams in each conference. We're going to start. I'm going to start with the NFC because I had an easier time with the NFC than the AFC. I don't know if you guys agree with that. But I'm going to start with my NFC power rankings. I had 7 teams that I truly, truly considered for this exercise. I'll start with number 1. I think it's still Philly. I think Philly is still the best team in football, period. They're 4-0, and they continue to win without, a real drop back passing game. So, again, it's about finding ways to get victories, and this is a team with a championship pedigree and the ability to continue to be there. I don't want to be the guy that's just like, well, 4-0, it is what it is. But they're not beating, slouches either. They've beaten Kansas City. They just beat Tampa Bay. They beat the Rams, who we will talk about. And even Dallas is explosive on offense, and they weren't explosive against Philly. So, yeah, this one was pretty easy for me. What did you guys think about that?
Yep. I have them at 2. I just want to say this is a really boring.
In the NFC?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I know they're undefeated, but there's not a lot of difference between 1 and 2, and strictly because they're power rankings, or I guess top 5 or whatever you want to say. Right now, there's a team that I believe is better or playing better right now than the Eagles. There's a level of play that the Eagles can have and are expected to have, and they just haven't reached that yet. I don't know why. If they open up the playbook, they'll absolutely be number 1 on my list. I think they absolutely can. However, right now they're not, and they're playing very dangerous football. The fact that they've been in a couple games where it's like, can they squeeze this one out? They should have lost against the Rams, but they didn't, and that's awesome. Congratulations, you blocked a field goal. My team just did this past week. We probably should have lost that game. I'm sure, Ben, you probably feel the same way. You picked the Rams to win that game. So my thing is there's games in which you should be winning, and when you see that second half Jalen Hurts, oh man, he could throw the ball, and look at A.J. Brown, explosive, and look at all these explosive pass plays, but we're going to run the ball on first down with Saquon Barkley, who has the second worst yards per carry in the league. We are going to throw a screen pass on second down, and then we're going to run the ball on third down, and then when we get really close to the first down line, we'll do a tush push, and then it's such a gross offense to watch. It's so boring to me. Whatever, but it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. My number 1 team is the Lions. I'll get to it after Ben gets to his point.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. I could understand if it was the Lions, and I'm right there with you. 1 for me is the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles fan has the Eagles the number 1 team in the NFC. To me, again, I don't know if dangerous football is the way to put it, because it's quite opposite of dangerous with how the playbook is. They're too
He's
cautious.
saying the outcomes.
But yes.
I
get what he is saying.
They're just teetering on that line. Why were we playing with that? Just play to win.
City all over.
Well, my thing is I'm sorry, Ben, to cut you off. I am so sorry about that, but I'll make this point quick. When you go to the Super Bowl and you play to completely curb stomp your opponent, why stop at the regular season following that? You just completely decimated.
Your coordinator got hired to be a head coach somewhere.
So why is this offense only working when you unleash it, and you're texting us in the group chat like open the playbook, and when they do open
Yes.
the playbook, it works. So my thing
Yes.
is like, why are we stopping this? Like, I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. I'm just saying, like, why not be that team that can go ahead and drag its nuts against whoever plays them? Like, at the end of the day, you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you're the Super Bowl champions. If you can go ahead and kill these teams, why not do it every single week? I don't get it. But instead, it's like, let's run the ball and be
Because
this
the NFL is
boring
hard.
offense. I get that. That's fine. But I'm just saying, when you know that they're not doing something, and not to mention it's making the people in the locker room affected as well, like, you're not trending in a good direction. Just make it
It's
easy on yourself and do a little bit more. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, let's throw everything out the door on week 4, but like, I want to see like more fight, I guess, because this is just like, oh, we're the
yeah.
Eagles and we're good and we'll get by and then we'll win because, we're the Eagles. But it's like, you can win by more, like win by more. Like,
No, I agree. Again, obviously, I wish they would open up the playbook a little bit more. Kevin Patullo's a weenie, but at the end of the day, they're 4-0, and they're the only team in the NFC that's 4-0, and they've proven that they can win against very, very good teams. That's why they're number 1. But for the same reason that you had the Lions at number 1 is the same reason that I'm going to have them here at number 2. I think, again, all of the concerns that anyone had going into the season about Dan Campbell losing his coordinators and it affecting them is out the window. This team is picking it up right where they had left off last year. The Lions are looking just as good. And I, to be frank, wouldn't really want to look forward to playing them to begin with. So Lions are number 1 or number 2 for me. So I'm right there with you.
I'm just saying, just to make a quick point, I mean, outside of that week one, let's iron all of this out, right? You had a really good get back game against my Bears, scoring 52 points in that game and only allowing 21. And then you go into Baltimore and you score 38 to their 30. And then you win against the Browns 34-10. This is the reckless, I'm going to kill you kind of team that I think
But it
Philly
was
can
against
be.
the Bears, the Browns, and the Ravens that
The
are
Ravens?
proven not be good. The Ravens haven't been good. They have not been good. Whether what we think about the Ravens going into the season in our views, I was the one who said they were going to win the Super Bowl. They have not played like that. They have not been a good team. Versus the Eagles, all 4 of their matchups have been against at least playoff hopeful teams. But again, I'm with you. I don't want to take away and discredit the Lions because I think the Lions again are the number 2 team for me in the NFC.
We're arguing 1 and 2. It's
are they number 2 for you, Matt?
No, they're at 4.
Wow.
I have 2 through 4 very close together, and they just ended up being my 4th team, kind of based on that fact of I don't know what they look like at full strength. Like Aleem McNeil is working himself back. The offensive line is still getting to a place where I don't feel comfortable with it yet. Overall, the number 2 team is the Packers to me. It still is, because this is the team that demolished the Lions. And I know the last few weeks for the Packers have not gone their way in terms of results. They get bullied against the Browns, and that's a problem. And they're able to, give up 40 points to a really good offense in Dallas. And, you play to a tie. But this is still a team that's, second in EPA per play and second in dropback EPA. They're 16th in defensive EPA. I still they have 10 great players on defense. They need to find out who their CB2 is. And somehow, that's not a Keyshawn Nixon problem. That dude's awesome. He's been tremendous this year. So I still have Green Bay here. Maybe I'm valuing the overall result of the game, but that game was just so stark that it is a massive data point for me in ranking these teams right now.
I mean, I have them at 3, so I can absolutely see why you have them at 2. So
I don't have them on my list at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so frustrated with that team, man, and I understand. Bears fan, whatever. You tied against the Cowboys, you losers. I can't.
You're talking about the
That was
Cowboys
such
like
a
they're a
good
bad team,
game.
though.
They just got killed by the Bears. What are we talking about? Their
Cowboys,
defense is horrible. What are we talking about? They silenced Micah Parsons. He had 1 sack on the day,
He
and
had
that
8
even
pressures.
then it was
Pressures.
it was a trip.
That was a DAT game. That was a DAT game. I stand by that one. I will fight tooth and nail. Those were two quarterbacks playing out of their minds.
I've seen 1 week from the Packers that impressed me, and that was week 1. Since then, I'm not seeing it. And I don't care if you guys think that I'm seeing through rose-colored glasses or not. I'm not putting them on my list. Just keep.
I'm excited to see what 4 teams you have over them. I'm
so
yeah.
who do you have at number 3, Ryan?
The Rams. I have the Rams.
Same. I do also have the Rams.
Yeah.
I have the Rams at 4. I'm glad we're all
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
same page.
They're a top 5
Take
team.
it away with the Rams, Ryan.
I mean, Puka Nacua, man. He's been awesome this season. Yep. And I mean, I have him on both teams, I think, on my fantasy team. So, profiting. I mean, not money, but I'm getting something out of this. So,
Stocks.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a fun offense to watch, and I feel like they're one of those teams that's like you really can't count them out of any game. And I'd take them over a large percent of these teams in the league right now. They were 1 game away from the NFC Championship, given it was a snow game and it was one of the most disgusting NFC Championships, 1 game away from the Super Bowl, but you know what I meant, I think. Wait, Super Bowl, NFC Championship. I was right. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I know that was last year's team, but I think that what they're doing this year is still very good. They're a very fun team to watch. And I mean, Stafford, he's been doing really good to me. So I don't know, Rams at 3, just keep it simple. Oh, that young D line, by the way, big fan. I don't know.
Yeah. Jared versus he's going to be on that ballot for the defensive player of the year. He's been unbelievable this year, but so is the entire defense. The defense ranks 5th in EPA per play. I talked about them last year, how cheap they are on the defensive end, and so them to be able to keep hitting on these guys in that back end, mostly like that defensive line that you just talked about, they have just so many dudes. They're second in drop back EPA, and then their offense, it is what it is. Like, and that's a good thing. That's not like a knock in a way. So like, you know what Stafford is, you know what Kyron Williams is going to give you, and having Puka off to the start that he's at, and just like, this is exactly how I would want to mix in Devontae Adams into this offense, just being big body, contested catch, red zone player. It's been really, really good. So yeah, that's why they're absolutely in my top 3.
Yes. So we know who my 1 through 4 is. We know who Matt's 1 through 4 is. Who's your 4th, Ryan?
Seahawks.
I have them 5th.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I love
it.
I'm not going to dive into them too much either. They're just a fun team for me to watch. And to be honest with you, that secondary, or not secondary, but just defense as a whole has really surpassed my expectations going into the season for them. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, hey, I think this is for sure a playoff team. We're talking wild card for sure, but I think that they can compete for the division as well. I would love to put the 49ers on this list or not, but I think a healthy 49ers team would be for sure, just as the Ravens would be as well if they were healthy.
Yeah, it looks like I'm the odd man out here, and I'm the one who does not have the Seahawks on this list. I will say Seahawks would be number 6 for me. I'll make it quick. I'm sure that my 6 is probably Ryan's 5 and is probably yours 6 here. My 5th is the Buccaneers. They were one very close game away from winning and being 4-0 in their own right, being higher on everyone's list if they were able to do that. But I've just been impressed with the grit on this team, and obviously a lot of that stems from who's playing quarterback for them. But they have just shown the ability through the first 4 weeks, obviously outside of week 4, to win close games and to make plays when it matters the most. Despite Mike Evans being down, I mean, we were all shocked when Emeka Ibuka was the pick, but it is looking like it is paying off in plentyfuls with how well he's looked. And their defense isn't amazing, and I know they have a little bit of injuries, but it's not a defense by any means to scoff at. So that's why they're number 5 for me. And again, Seahawks would have been number 6. So
yeah, the Bucks are not my number 5. So just to round out, not repeat anything you were saying, Lions, Eagles, Rams, Seahawks, Bucks were my list. And that could very much change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's only week. We've only seen 4 weeks of football here, folks.
Mine are. Just you wait till this Bears run they're about to have. It's gonna be great.
I have Eagles at 1, Lions at 2, Packers at 3, Rams at 4, and Bucks at 5. Seahawks just missed the list at number 6. But if you want to run through your 1 through 5, Matt, and then obviously we know 6 for you is the Bucks, but then there's one more team it seems like we've left out.
Yeah, I have Philly 1, Green Bay 2, Rams 3, Lions 4, Seahawks 5, Buccaneers 6 and 7. Just because we don't have enough data on them this season, I have Commanders here because I think there is a world where their quarterback is the best in the conference, and he has the floor-raising ability of bringing this offense to a level that is top 5 in the conference. Like, even if the defense continues to sputter the way that it is sputtering, they're 24th in EPA per play. Right now, they are a top 5 rush offense by any metric. So imagine, and that's with, 2 games of Jaden Daniels, and one of those, like, he has a knee sprain against Green Bay. So, like, if you could mix him in and keep the explosiveness, like, I think this is going to sound bad, but, like, the best case scenario is, like, you don't have to play Eckler as much anymore because you're going to mix in so much more explosive juice in the backfield. So I'm just entertained to see how, Bill progressive, how Chris Rodriguez continues to be, like, this red zone back. Like, I think their rush offense is really, really good, and Daniels provides a floor in a drop back game that they're never going to be in a hard down. Like, even when he gets sacked, it's like sacked for 2 yards instead of 8. So I think there's still so much data to be collected on the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels seems to be progressing to be back this week in one of our games. But
yes, the one thing in terms of the Commanders that does scare me is, you glossed over it just a little bit, is that defense. That defense frightens me to no end, and that's why I just didn't talk about them, because as great as Jaden Daniels and that offense can be, it worries me because that defense will keep them in games that they just shouldn't be. Given it could be a different game if Jaden Daniels was playing last week, but even if Jaden Daniels was playing last week, that wouldn't have stopped the Falcons from putting up 35-plus points on them. And that's my concern. And Jaden Daniels will be able to keep them in those shootouts if they need to, but when push comes to shove, when they really need it, I don't know if they'll be able to get the big time stop.
Completely
Old.
agree. It's just it's
yeah.
They were bad last year. I know that's bad process to just be like, well, they could just provide to be bad again, but I think Jaden's one of those guys, man. So we'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll see how that goes.
Last year's quarterback class looks really good right now. I just want to say, like, we're talking NFC quarterbacks right now, but like, you take the top 3 especially, you know what I mean? And I know I'm biased with Caleb. You can say what you want, but like, best touchdown to interception ratio and number 1 or NFL history by a number 1 overall quarterback. But anyways, I'm just saying, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels looking really good. That's fun. Good for them.
Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy. Bo Nix bad.
Bo Nix,
Spencer Rattler good.
I don't know about Bo Nix right now, man. We're gonna dive into the AFC though. I don't know.
Yep. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. We really appreciate you clicking on this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. That always helps us out. And remember, check out our links in the description. And Wednesdays, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central Time, live over here, talking ball, interacting with the chat, having some fun. So you wouldn't want to miss that. But that's all for me. And till next time, roll that outro.